I love you in a place where there's no space or time.
My name is Mario Smith. I'm the executive producer of Love, 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 Chicago Celebrates, the music of Donny Hathaway. I was going around trying to think of venues to do the event at. I originally wanted to do it at the Lyric Opera. I wanted to do it at Symphony Hall. I wanted to do it someplace in spaces that black people don't generally go, per se. And I went to talk to David Chavez from the Department of Cultural Affairs and Special Events, and he was like, I was going to get advice from him, and then after we talked, he was like, why don't you just do it in a part of the Millennium Park Summer Music Series? And I literally was like, what? And he was like, yeah, you'll be part of our series. We got a budget and we can do it. And I'm like, okay. So I got a venue. So then once we got the venue, put the team together, Corey Wilkes has always been day one with me on that, and I I brought in Dwayne Powell and Ayanna Contreras to help me with the music part, to really have an understanding about Donny Hathaway and why the music had to be a certain way and why the list had to be a certain way, and to talk to the family and all that stuff. They did. They came through for me, and Love, Love, Love happened. I was thinking about the tribute to Donny Hathaway about 8 years ago when we were doing a tribute to Gil Scott-Heron. And that night on the stage, I was like, yo, we should do something for Donny Hathaway. And everybody's like, yeah, Donny Hathaway. And then I was like, okay, I got to do it now that I said it. And it just took a lot of push and pull, back and forth, conversations with the University of Chicago and conversations with folks from Columbia College, just trying to incorporate my friends into, or people that I knew that did stuff to gauge what they would or how they felt about it. And eventually it just, those ideas happened. I guess the answer about choosing Donny Hathaway, why would I choose him? It wasn't really that I made a conscious choice. I just knew that was an artist that I really, really liked, that Chicago hadn't really embraced like they do Curtis Mayfield and other great Chicago artists. And even though Donny was born in Chicago and not really raised in the city, he's a Chicagoan. And I just thought it would be important for the city to fess up, own up, and celebrate this man's genius. He's a genius. So there was no reason not to, really. I suppose we could have picked, somebody else. Muddy Waters, maybe. I like Muddy Waters. The Two of Everything band. It's literally two of everything. With the exception of, and actually with the background vocalists too, we had Tina M. Howe, Ugochi and Gwuwu, Marquel Jordan, who also plays sax, and Renee Ruffin Merrill, who had just moved back from Belgium, and I was like, I want you to be on this show. She was like, I'll do it, which was really cool. So this was like her first time playing on that stage. Marquel's too, as a matter of fact. And her first time being on that stage here in Chicago, so it was big. But the Two of Everything band, it's Victor Garcia and Corey Wilkes, who also served as our music director on trumpet. Rajiv Halim played flute, the happy flute, as I like to call it, and played sax. He's awesome. Marquel Jordan played tenor sax. Henry Johnson, Donny Hathaway's guitar player. Yeah, Donny Hathaway's guitar player. That's so stupid. He played guitar. Justin Dillard played keys. Junius Paul and Joshua Ramos played bass. Actually, Micaiah McCraven and Charles Rick Heath played drums. Junius and Micaiah changed their tour. Well, Micaiah changed his tour to make sure that they were in Chicago for this event. So I owe them one too. And Kahil Elzabar. It's Kahil. He killed it, as he always does, on percussion. And we had an orchestra. We were going to have a 21-piece orchestra. No joke. 21-piece orchestra. And then the week before the show, everybody got amnesia. And he didn't remember that he was supposed to do charts. Because even though these musicians are dope, they're doper if they got the chart. And so we had to find somebody that could do the charts in a hurry. And Corey called Miguel De La Serna, and he hung up the phone and started working on the show. So we had all the charts in a week. And we paid this character. It was about to pay him a lot of money. But we got it done. And our string section was mammoth, man. They killed it. They really did. It was good. It was real good. And Avery R. Young was our surprise guest who came from Portugal, got off a plane. I don't know if he flew or ran, but he was on stage, and he ended our night with the ghetto as only he could. It was probably the most powerful part of the show. Outside of Megan McNeil singing To Be Young, Gifted, and Black, which is, you know, my favorite part of the show. My favorite part was when Yao sang You Were Meant For Me. I just like that song a lot, so that was my favorite part. We didn't have to get clearance for the songs because they were performed live. When you perform covers live and you're not trying to record them for an album, you can do that. I couldn't have them we couldn't record a Donny Hathaway song and then sell it on like Spotify or something, or wherever they sell songs, on Mixcloud or whatever. We would have gotten sued, big time sued. The Donny Hathaway Foundation, which is actually Donita Hathaway and her family, the Donny Hathaway Legacy Project. The idea is to bring mental health awareness, starting here in Chicago, to young people, along with the music too. And Donita and I will be working together a lot on that. But it's all Donita Hathaway. And she was at the event as well. And I'm really glad that she came. I wasn't sure she was going to be there, but it was good to have a family member there. And his cousins and other relatives were there too. And they were up front, so they got to see everything. That was really cool. We worked on that. We worked on that. They got some names too. Like, you know, they from the South. Let's see. So yes, Donita Hathaway did her work. My vision was what people saw. I didn't know it would play out quite like that, but that's exactly in my head. I saw people loving it and having a good time. It's kind of hard to process it still, but it was a good time. Everybody had a good time. Now that this is over, I have already started working on the next thing, and I hope to be able to present it to the powers that be in December, and then we can start on it in earnest right after the Super Bowl is over. And we'll go through the same process, trying to get folks involved who can help us financially, making sure these musicians have this space available for them. We'll be working closer with the family of this artist though, and it'll be a lot easier for us to have access to charts and things like that, so we won't have to work so hard. And I am certain that people are going to dig it, but I'm not about to try to predict how people will feel about it, because I thought one thing about the Donny Hathaway, and I was unbelievably surprised at how well it got received by the city, because you never know when you do this stuff. You just don't know. So it went well, and I'm really happy about it. And that's it. Thank you for watching this. I hope that you will find some place to listen to Donny Hathaway and all these other great Chicago musicians, the Quincy Joneses, the Charles Stepneys, the Curtis Mayfields, the Staple Singers, and really start listening. Chicago is it. We've always been it. We just don't tend to acknowledge how much of it we are, but we're it. And there's more coming, so I hope you hang out for me. Later. Thank you.
Why'd you take so long to come to? Oh, baby.
Hey, Yakira Levi, thank you. You the bestest.